Okay, here's a probability question that looks a bit like Hannah Sweets, but kind of has a twist. So for a start, rather than the usual 2 options, we've actually got 3 options. So 1, 2, 3 options. So there are 25 counters in the bag. So when we pick our first counter, it's out of 25. Right, there are 6 blue. There are X orange, and the rest are pink. So there are 25 in total. 25 take away 6, that's 19. And then we have to subtract X. Okay, so Ruya picks 2 at random from the bag. The probability that she picks 1 orange and 1 pink is 22 over 75. So if she picks an orange and then she picks a pink, we have this. Okay, so she's going to pick a pink. Now, there are still 19 over X because no pinks were picked on this path. But now there are only 24 left. Now, is there another way that this can happen? Well, there is, because if she picks a pink, she could pick an orange. And the probability of picking an orange a second time. Now this time, the orange has not been picked, so there is still X, and that is over 24. So we have 2 paths. So it's the first path, which is orange and then pink, or the second path, which is pink and then orange. So that means if it's or in probability, that means we are going to add those probabilities. So the first path means that I pick an orange, and the probability of that is X over 25. And I pick a pink, which is 19 minus X over 24. And for path 2, I pick a pink, which is 19 minus X over 25. And then I pick an orange, which is X over 24. Now, if you look at the 2 fractions, they have the same denominators. It's the other way round. But we know that 25 times 4 is the same as 24 times 25. So actually, what we've got is 2 lots of the same thing. So I've got 2 lots of X over 25 times 19 minus X over 24, because there's more than one path that makes this true. So let's multiply and turn this into a single fraction. So that's the same thing as having 2 lots of 19x minus x squared over 600. And now I'm just going to multiply that by 2. So then I've got 38x minus 2x squared divided by 600. And remember, at the beginning of the question, we were told what the probability of this happening was. The probability of this is 22 over 75. So the whole point of doing this is to try and work out what X is, how many orange counters there are. So we're going to multiply through by 600 on both sides. And that's going to leave me with 38x, because I've multiplied by the denominator. And 22 over 75 actually gives me 176. So now you can see this is a quadratic. So I'm going to add 2x, and that means I've got 2x squared over here. I'm going to take away my 38x, and then I've got my 176, and there's a 0. Now I have a 0, I can solve that quadratic. So if you use your calculator or the quadratic method or whatever method you want to use, and we'll see that with A is 2, B is minus 38, and C is 176. So that means that the solution for X is either 8 or 11. And you remember in the question, it said that x is greater than 9. So we can ignore x equals 8. So now we know that x is 11. Right, now the actual question was asking, what is the probability she picks 2 pink counters? Well, that means that we have to have a pink on the first one is 19 minus x. Well, 19 minus 11 is 8 over 25. And then we pick the second time, pink again, and there are going to be one less, so that's 7 over 24. So 8 times 7, that's 56. 25 times 24, we did it already. We know that's 600. And can I simplify this fraction? Yes, I can. Well, they're both even numbers, so we know we definitely can. And I get 7 over 75. And I know I can't simplify it further because 7 is a prime number and 75 is not a multiple of 7. So the key to this is that this is just like the Hannah Sweets question, but this time there are 2 paths to get the probability that we are given. So we have to make sure that we add the 2 paths together to get an answer.